Another important sign that I want to talk in this video, that can be a sign that you're a psychic or you are into tarot cards, spirituality, or any kind of jazz. So hello you guys, welcome. I'm Parshvik. On this channel we talk a lot about esotericism, tarot card, psychic, spiritual, all that stuff. If you enjoyed it, give it thumbs up, consider subscribing. I can tell you guys, from few days I have like a stable vibration. I've been on vibrating at stable frequency, but today all of a sudden when I woke up in the morning, it's not just today, it's actually the seeds of this vibration started yesterday at the night as well, but it was very subtle, it was very small, not that loud, so I couldn't hear that loud even though I feel it, but it was get louder in the morning when I wake up and I feel it. And there was something happening in my business, there is a shift happening in my business. So a very important decision that I gotta choose, I gotta decide to focus on doing the things that I love doing and to ignore the things or leave the things aside, or not to do the things that I don't like it. And there was like a shift, and in that moment I get a light bubble moment. I was like, no, there is no going back. Once you know all these things, once you are in the 7th grade of your school, for example, you're not going to go back to the 4th grade, 5th grade, because it doesn't really make any sense. You're going to go continually move forward with the 8th, 9th grade, and so on and so forth. You're going to move forward. So wherever you are, you're going to move forward with that. You're not going back. That's what the message I received. So today I want to talk about this sign. The sign is a deep calling or a deep intuition. Now, I think I might have covered in my other videos, but today I want to cover it from the different angle, because it was like a combination of the clairsentience and a combination of the claircognizance and a little bit of the clairvoyance, like a combination of the different clairs that I can see that lead me to this intuition, to this calling. So if you have a calling, if you feel something, or you know something, or you go somewhere and you feel totally connected with the person, situation, reality, animals, house, car, anything. You feel connected to the place, or you feel called to do that. You're like, okay, I'm living in this country, but I feel like I'm called to go to another country or visit that place or go to the countryside or check out my relatives or check out my neighbor or friends. You feel like a deep calling, something that you cannot resist. Something it's like knocking on your door over and over again. It's like knocking on your door is a metaphor over here. You are in your house, you close the door and you're sleeping, but somebody's knocking on your door. You avoid it, ignore it. It was like, okay, whatever. But then it's knocking again. Then you avoid it again, but then it's knocking again. The more you ignore it, the louder the noise, or the louder the knocking on your door increases. The noise increases. The louder it gets. And the more you ignore, the louder it gets. In the beginning, it's a subtle, it's a very small, not that loud. But then when you're ignoring and not listening to it, it grows louder, louder, louder. And now you are like, oh, you hear everywhere. Everywhere you go, you feel it. Everywhere you go, it's like calling you, hey, listen to me, listen to me. Is that type of thing happened with you? Because that's the greatest sign, or the biggest sign that you're psychic. And I know everybody is a psychic, but that's the biggest sign of the claircognizance, clairsentience, or maybe the clairvoyance if you see any visuals in your dreams or in meditation or whatever. Like it could be a combination of the different clairs or combination of different psychic ability, but in general, it's a very biggest sign that your consciousness is increasing, you are already a psychic, and your intuition is calling you, constantly calling you towards you in a certain directions, to decide something, to take certain actions, to move to another country, to travel, to start a new relationship, or to quit the old relationships, to travel to a new place, to meet somebody new, to meet your old relatives, old friends. Like something is there and you can't ignore it. Even if you ignore it, it gets louder, louder, louder. And sometimes it happened with me, I can't even go to the sleep when it gets so much louder, because I've been like, okay, whatever. Sometimes I wait for things to get louder so that I can hear them more clearly and more better, and I get more clarity, because when in the beginning they are very, very subtle. So sometimes I can't get the clarity, so I wait, I ignore them just to let them be clear, more louder, and get more picture what they wanted to tell me, and to decide and know what direction that I want to move in. And sometimes because of that, when they get louder, I couldn't even sleep well. Like I sleep okay for 2-3 hours at the night, then all of a sudden I wake up and I had this thought, and then I sleep again, and then I see in the dreams visuals of that, then I sleep again, then I wake up, like kind of like sleeping again and waking up, and then I couldn't sleep and having dreams or having a visuals or imagination, and like it's all telling me to listen to that voice. That could also happen sometimes with me, and I think that it's happened with a lot of the people as well. So that's the biggest sign. So I get that calling in the morning, and kind of like I was knowing about it, but then I did a tarot reading, and in the tarot reading I received the message. It's an oracle deck. I received the exact message to like the two cards that I received that I never received before in my readings, and I truly feel it so much. Of course, I'm using a tarot card. It's another psychic tools, but I combine the tarot card with the claircognizance and clairsentience. So this is like a trust your path oracle deck that I receive along with the just say yes. And then this is an inquiry card, a question card. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? What would you do if you know you were supported? And then I received the just say yes. And after last card, not the last card, yeah, maybe the last card I receive is just say no. So you see that these three cards is like not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's actually pointing you to saying yes to the things that is in alignment with who you are, that you really, really wanted, and saying no to the things that no longer serving you. It's like listening to my own calling. And that's another thing, that whenever I have a calling and intuition, I receive them in my own readings. And I feel it's like the collective needs to hear that, or collective needs to know that why I'm receiving in my readings. Or I see the signs, somebody tell me those things, or I hear it from somebody, or I just walk down the road and I see the angel numbers or whatever. So if you get that calling in the beginning, it's like very subtle, very slow. And if you don't recognize them, and if you kind of like ignore them, not really ignore them, but you didn't even recognize, you're like, okay, it's there, but I need to more clear. It's going to get even more clear, louder, and it's going to continuously knock on a door. Like when you ignore somebody's there on your door and they knock on your door, you ignore them, they're going to knock even more louder, right? They're going to constantly knock and even more louder. That thing happens with the calling in the intuition. If you have this kind of a feelings or intuitions or knowing or something like that, let me know, because it's also greatest sign, and that's what I'm covering in this video. Let me know if this video is helpful. If you have any questions, any doubts, let me know. I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.